All right, so get this. In a world full of AI, instant messaging, and, well, the future, one guy decided to take a giant leap backward. This is the story of a project that's kind of ridiculous, surprisingly brilliant, and really makes you think, what happens when you bring old school tech into our super modern world?
Every truly great idea probably starts with someone close to you being just a little bit confused. And when Greg Swan brought this thing home, his wife Jenny said what pretty much any of us would have said. It's the perfect, most relatable start to this whole adventure.
I mean, just think about how you talk to people every day. It's all seamless. It's all digital. It all lives in the cloud, right? We're zapping messages across the planet in the blink of an eye. Everything is designed to be frictionless. So that brings us to the big question, the real mystery here. Why on earth, in this world of easy-peasy tech, would anyone choose to haul a massive 60-pound ghost of an office machine into their house? Let's figure it out. So the whole story kicks off with an offer. You know the kind. It seems way too good to be true. And, well, as you're about to see, it absolutely was. So Greg spots this absolute unit on Facebook Marketplace. It's a Canon Laser Class 3170. And look, this isn't some dinky little home printer. This was a $3,000 piece of equipment back in 1999. We're talking like $5,500 in today's money. It was listed for $100, but after a couple of weeks, nobody bid. So Greg just offered to come pick it up for free. The owner said yes, and Greg's wife officially reviewed it as gross and yellow and huge. Can't say I blame her. Okay, so the machine is in the house. Job done, right? Not even close. This is the part of the story where the free fax machine suddenly starts costing money and where this whole thing turns into a real quest. And this is where it gets hilarious. So, first problem. His totally modern smart home has 0 old-school phone jacks. Of course it doesn't. The fix for that? A $100 adapter and a brand new $9 a month phone plan. Okay. But then, plot twist. He realizes he doesn't own a single telephone cord. He donated them all years ago. So he goes to Target, walks the aisles, they don't sell them. So he ends up ordering a $6 cord from Amazon while he's still standing inside Target. You just can't make this stuff up. And there we have it. The grand total to get the free fax machine up and running comes to a cool $125 and still ticking with that monthly fee. It's just a perfect example of the hidden cost of bringing the past into the present. But then, it happened. The moment of truth. After a little bit of panic when he plugged the cord into the wrong hole, the one for the handset, not the wall, he fixed it. He sent a test fax. The machine whirred to life. It made that classic screeching dial-up sound, and a piece of paper slowly rolled out. It actually worked. And in that moment, all the cost, all the hassle, it was suddenly totally worth it. So what was the point of all this? I mean, really, why go through all that trouble? Well, this was never just about getting an old machine to work. It was an experiment. It was about seeing what happens when you force creativity into a very small, very old-fashioned box. There's this great book called A Beautiful Constraint, and it nails this idea perfectly. The theory is pretty simple. When you can do anything, sometimes you do nothing. You're paralyzed by choice. But when you have to work with strict rules like it has to be black and white, it has to be low res, it has to travel over a phone line, it pushes you to be clever and inventive in a whole new way. And wow, did people get inventive. The results were amazing. Somebody used an AI to create a Roy Lichtenstein-style pop art piece and faxed it over. A friend created an entire choose-your-own-adventure game, sending it one page at a time. People sent ASCII art. Somebody sent a super long fax on legal paper just to be funny, and my absolute favorite was the meta joke. A fax that just said, dozens of people liked this fax on Instagram. Brilliant. Now you might be thinking this is just some weird recent hobby, but it turns out Greg's obsession with fax machines, it goes way back. This is just the latest, greatest chapter in a very long story. Oh yeah, this has been a long time coming. Way back in 2009, he and a buddy came up with Faxbook, a social network that would run entirely on faxed friend requests and status updates. Then, in 2013, at the height of the Google Glass craze, he figured out how to send faxes from Google Glass, bridging the super futuristic with the super old. As he pointed out, the fax machine ended up outlasting Google Glass,
which is just poetry.
So all of this brings us to the final part of our explainer. And this is maybe the most important part, because the story doesn't really end with Greg. It ends with a question for you.
After all this, I bet you're thinking, okay, that's kind of cool. But how in the world would I send a fax today without going on my own $100 adventure? Well, it's actually way, way easier than you'd think. There are a ton of ways to do it online, but one of the easiest is with an app like HP Smart. You just download the app, tap the little mobile fax button, pick a photo or a doc right off your phone, punch in the number, and hit send. You're basically using your 21st century supercomputer to talk to a 20th century machine. It's that simple.
And here you go. This whole explainer, it's really just an invitation. Greg's fax machine is on, it's ready, it's waiting. He's already gotten poems, selfies, birth announcements, even love letters. So the only real question left is, what are you gonna send?